Everybody, Brad Phillips here with Autosport Designs in Huntington Station, New York. We're going to be putting some cool YouTube content out there. Lots of times what you'll see on our channel are road test videos and driving things in the cars we have for sale. We're going to start expanding that into this kind of daily activities happening around the shop. We're a full service restoration and sales and service facility. So every day there's something crazy going on around here. So today we're going to do a quick run through of the current, as of the 28th of March, shop projects. So we're in the service area. We're going to run through and show you some of the cool stuff we have going on here. I'm a child of the 80s, so almost everything we work on here is something that was on a poster when I was in high school. So it's super cool to kind of wander through. So why don't we just start with what's behind me here. And I've got my notes because there's just too many of them to keep track with. This is a 1984 Lamborghini Countach 5000S. So this has got the side draft Weber carburetors. This is a bad beast. And what it's in the shop for here is kind of a reconditioning. So we've gone through the suspension, we've gone through some engine oil leaks. This is going to a new home and we're really getting it ready for him to use for the first time this weekend. But this is an epically cool car. White Countach with these white wheels. A lot of people, they remember back in the day, these are these 345, 35, 15s. These for a while were the biggest tires and wheels you would see on a car, and they were just amazing, and they're still fun to look at today. So anyway, really, really epic car. Absolutely love these. We have a lot of Countachs through here, believe it or not. We also have a downdraft, which is where the Webers are upright instead of sideways. So we're working on one of those as well. This is in the bay today. Our man Maurizio has been really working hard on it, so it's super cool to see it. And we fired it up yesterday, and good Lord, it's loud. It is really epic. Right here, I believe this is a 1970. This is a 365 Ferrari, so it's V12 powered. It's a 2+2. So if you were a sporting person in this era and you wanted a car to also take the kids out in for the weekend, well, this is exactly the type of Ferrari you would buy. These are great, they're high-speed touring cars. This one's back in here because we just had it painted. It's going to the owner, and Brad is actually going through and just double-checking things, going back together, final assembly for delivery. But these are really super cool cars, and with the V12 and the manual transmission, this is a 150-mile-an-hour car that you can really enjoy for the weekend. This one's actually really rare also because it's in a factory sunroof. Not a lot of them had it. So anyway, super cool car, and I love that yellow. What do we got here? This is an Aston Martin, but this is a V8 Vantage. A lot of people don't know Aston Martin history as well as they may know Porsches and Ferraris and Jaguars and things. This is kind of a hot rod project. This is owned by a client of ours, so we've brought it in here. We've done a full engine rebuild on it, so it's a special spec, so it's a little bit better than a stock engine, but it's really tractable. This again, this is a 160-mile-an-hour car. We've gone through the suspension. If you want to come in here, the lovely Chris is behind the camera. I thought I'd show you something really neat. Up here specifically. So when we do a full engine out, engine in, and go through all the suspension, just look how pretty all this is. Everything's new and painted, and shocks are nice and red, coil springs are all there, but there's such great detail in these cars. And this has had a long, loving life. This is gonna run, it's gonna drive. This awesome exhaust system out the back. These things really sound cool. So this is just another really good project. We do a lot of Aston Martin work here at Autosport. Tom Papadopoulos, the owner of Autosport Designs, is a worldwide resource for Aston Martin history, as well with other things, but he has a particular affinity for these cars, and these V8 Vantages are super, super cool. So this is going to be exciting when you get back out of here. We can jump over here to Magnum PI Corner. This is a 308 Quattro valve. So this one I believe is an 84. The QV cars are 83, 84, or 85. This one's just sold, and it's going to be going to the new owner. So the guys were kind of going through and making sure that all the documents and tools and that kind of thing are already in the trunk and ready to get picked up. That's another 308, obviously. This is really pretty. These are fun to see from this angle. That is a trick exhaust system on this. So I had one of these a long time ago. It was a QV, and it was quiet. This will not be that quiet. That is a beautiful little exhaust. I don't know if it's a 2V or what the heck it is. I can't read it. But anyway, it's a really nice sounding car. And this was in for some general service, and when this one gets pulled out, that'll come back down to the ground. And I think it's got some trim pieces out of it because there are some door cards and some things around. So we do a lot of upholstery work and interior work too, and make it pretty as well as running good. 360 Spider, this is cool. This one just made into a Scott very recently. What year is this? I think it's an 03. One of the big deals about Ferrari 360s, 3.6 liter V8. This is a really, really cool car. One of the reasons it's so cool is because they call it gated. It means it's a manual transmission. Some people really like the F1, which is the automatic transmission in these for drivability and big traffic, but most real enthusiasts love these with a manual, and they're rare, and Ferraris especially when you talk about gated cars. That's what they mean. Same thing with Lamborghini. If you've got a gated Lamborghini or a Ferrari, it's just a fancy way to say it's got a manual transmission. So this is a beautiful car. This was in, they were checking out the top mechanism. One of the things they do is to make sure it doesn't leak. So we had it up, put some water around all the places to make sure it was tight. It is, it's good to go. I think it's ready to rock. Talk about a car that generally needs no introduction whatsoever. This is a real 1973 Carrera RS, 2.7 liter, I believe it's a touring. These were a couple different versions. You can get a lightweight or a touring car. This is a touring. So it's got a little bit more creature comforts inside. These are world-class, absolutely world-class cars. So this was in from a customer. Tim was going through it earlier where going through tires and wheels and brakes and just really making sure it was ready to go. So this is a beautiful car. And he's also, if you zoom in, if you look on the interior, this is a stock car, and you can see the sport seats with just the black inserts. We're doing a Pepita interior for it, which if you've seen a lot of vintage Porsches have that beautiful black and white kind of checkered interior. It's called Pepita. So that's going to be added to this, and I think the black and white inserts with this yellow, it's going to be stunning, absolutely stunning. But anyway, these are mega cars. These are absolutely incredible. They drive so well. They're great for touring and rallies all over the world and eligible to do anything you want. So the owner of this car really knows how special it is. Speaking of tours and rallies, this is the 1934 Aston Martin. It is a pre-war Aston. This is actually a very beloved car to Autosport Designs because it's owned by our founder and president. This is actually being prepped today to get shipped to Arizona. A lot of people understand the Copper State 1000 and how important that is. It's a 1,000-mile plus road rally that happens every year in Arizona. This year, we're going up to the Grand Canyon, up to Flagstaff, a lot of places north out of Scottsdale and around, and it covers 3 or 4 days. The true hardy runners, they go in open cars, they have a ball, and we're getting this all set. This has cable brakes and some other things, so you want to make sure before a big trip that it's set and verified, that everything's ready to go. You'd much rather discover a problem here in the shop than out on the road and have to deal with getting picked up by the support crew. So it's really smart to go through it. But this is great. Tom's had it a long time. These pre-war Astons were so far ahead of their time. This is, again, a car eligible for everything, and it's really, really cool. This is super sweet. So we're very excited to be working on that as well, getting that ready. If we round the horn here, let's do here Volante. So of course with an Aston Martin, you don't talk about a convertible, you talk about a Volante. And this has been gone through. They're doing the interior bits on it now, making sure that the door panels, the leather is all right. There's some work being done in the trunk, just to make sure everything's perfect, and then this will go out the door. This is a really, really well-sorted 80s Aston. The Country Club. And one of my favorite projects that we're doing, Brian has been working on this one. He might be camera shy and ran for it. We're headed over it. That's cool. This is a 365 BB Ferrari. So V12, actually flat 12. Some people will say that it's got the tiniest of a V, and it's not really a flat, but I think most people will say It's a flat 12. Give it a break. So that's out. We had to reseal some things in the transmission, and apparently there was the shift lever or the shift rod going in had a leak. As you may expect, there's a lot of rubber bushings in places that are greased. It's all going to work right because the engine and transmission are here, and you're shifting from up there. So this actually had to get all taken apart, and it's kind of a while you're in there kind of thing. But this is the transmission that bolts underneath that big flat 12. So while we had it out, you do all new mounts, you do new seals, everything that you can get to that you normally couldn't get to while it's in the car. You're crazy if you don't do that sort of work, and we're very happy this owner said, do everything you can while it's in here. But I love these engines, a lot like the Lamborghinis. These have, you know, beautiful carburetors. So with these Webers, 12 cylinders, 12 carburetor throws. So these things make a lot of power. This was one of the first supercars. A lot of people say the Lamborghini Miura was the first supercar. These 365s and then the 512s that came on behind them were also just as popular, just as powerful. Super, super cool. So we're gonna save some of the other stuff for another day, but you know, we have a 30,000 plus square foot facility here. So everywhere we look is our cars that are here for either storage, they're queued up for other service or restoration work, or they're just waiting to go to a new home. So we will highlight more of those things that are under the tour, but I think that'll do it for today's shop tour. And thank you very much, Chris. And always go to autosportdesigns.com if you'd like to see more up-to-date content on what we've got going on, or stay in touch with us on YouTube. So thanks again. Appreciate you guys checking us out.